In the fall of 1846, the Donner Party was near the end of its epic trek from Illinois to California. 87 hardy souls had crossed the entire United States in just 7 months. But as their wagons pushed into the mountains, the worst storm ever recorded pounded the Sierra. Horses and oxen bogged down, 20-foot snowdrifts overwhelmed the party. Families split up and began building huts.
As the storm hit, they quickly set up camp, and by morning they were snowed in. And so they had to take pieces of probably wagon parts. They had to take any sort of wood that they'd cut the night before and quickly construct shelters.
In 1990, archaeologists uncovered this campsite along Alder Creek, north of Truckee. Exploration here has been on and off. As new technology was developed, it was tried here. Ground-penetrating radar and metal detectors expanded the dig. And then, a few months ago, scientists found this blackened layer about 6 inches below the surface. It might have been a fire pit.
Well, that's one of the working hypotheses, that there was a hearth here and that people would have gathered around that, both to cook and stay warm. And we had quite a burden of snow outside their shelter. So this would have been the focal point of the daily life.
As food ran out, the party became ever more desperate.
They were boiling their hides, they were boiling the tops of their shelters. I mean, they were literally giving up their shelters to get a gluey mass that would get them through one more day.
Some of the party kept diaries and mentioned cooking the flesh of their dead. You know, it's precisely that issue of cannibalism, did they or didn't they, that has always kept this Donner Party mystery in the public's mind. Now, with modern science like DNA, the answers could be coming soon. This summer, dogs trained to hunt for human remains search this meadow. In this test, a dog finds a human bone in only a couple of seconds.
That's an alert where she's sitting.
These dogs can sniff out where human remains once were, even hundreds of years later. The dogs were able to identify sites around this encampment.
This is the meadow at the Donner Interpretive Site. This is one of the areas that was excavated in August 2003. A very small excavation that did reveal a bone. The archaeologists are referring to this as the hotspot excavation. It's kind of a marshy meadow. There's a creek that runs through the far side. Coming into view here is the Donner Stump. This is believed to be one of the campsites, with the other campsite across the meadow.
She actually had something she wanted to show me. Okay. I would say this whole thing is interesting to her. You know, if you have rodents that are burrowing, they could be bringing little bones all over. Okay, let's keep working. Show it to me. Okay, it was right there. Right there. That's where Nessie was, exactly.
Well, I think that's actually the really cool story here.
It's a new application in archaeology.
It is, and it's drawing us over to this new area that. Well, and let's take this a little bit deeper, you guys. There's supposed to be at least 3 camps out here, and if the dogs are going to help us hone in on it, hoo-ha, let's give them kudos.
And this is an old tree stump. Maybe he actually buried underneath the tree.
And this, you know, this was Nessie's original spot right here, and she's alerted here. Riley's. We're learning about this strange diffuse scent. You know, it's so much easier when you got a grave that goes right there. Yeah. But this diffused because water, bones. I'm sure the bones have been scattered.
The media attention, which is the way the media likes to focus, is the bone that had the 3 cut marks on it. And
did the ground penetrating radar found that?
No.
I didn't.
Ground penetrating radar was a complete bust. It did absolutely nothing for us.
Uh-oh. I found a needle ball.
You did.
Thanks, Derek, when I get up at the Western History Conference in the pen.
And it's, you know, it's like one of these things where the dogs, and their ability with their scent, they have scent here. Yeah. You know, where exactly, yeah, like I said, we may never find it because it just may be, you know, we work on grave soil that's 3,000 years old.
Yeah.
It still has scent to them.
Yeah.
all the dogs say there's scent. All we can do is say, yeah, we believe there's scent here. What's here? I don't know.
Just want to make sure we didn't miss something in the back dirt too.
Well,
Stacy, what would be the difference between bone, like they say certain acidic soils that
that's where she originally alerted Eva.
where the bones just like disappear in the soil.
Well, the more acidic the soil, the less likely you're going to have bone in the soil that has just decomposed. Where the bone that's been, yeah, the calcine bone that's been cooked, that's become that's become a harder structure that But they were saying that an articulated skeleton or something a little bit more complete would have a better chance in the soil. That it's not that acidic that it would break down a complete skeleton if there really was a burial. But anything small and pieces that have been butchered or something like that that hadn't been cooked, that they'd maybe just be fleshed from, has a really low possibility of still being out here.
Exactly what Sure, you can put some plastic. Okay. Oh, as soon as she gets off it.
Is she saying that there's something there on the plastic?
They love this spot area. Yeah.
This place turns into a bit of a quagmire in the spring. It gets very wet. Some of the documentation for by one of the rescue crews that came in and left Tamsin with George Donner said that they moved her up to some higher ground. If you look at the wall,
yeah, I was looking.
Do you see that nice charcoal stain in the wall?
Yes. Like that. I'll point what I like. I like this guy here.
Oh, that's what
we're
talking about.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, this indeed is one of the Donner sites.
Like last of these others.
Once you get down below.
Doctor at the University of Montana, Kelly Dixon, is here, and she's been one of our principal investigators this year and last year. She's partnered with Dr. Julie Shabutsky, and Julie is here from the University of Oregon. They both bring their own specialty and expertise, and I know that they would be very interested in chatting with you a bit later.
We learned through somebody named Kenneth Dunn of a group of people called the Institute for Canine Forensics. They help find, well, I won't go on to this. I will let them tell you about this. I think this is a fine segue for me to introduce you to some four-legged colleagues that we have been fortunate enough to work with. And I'd like to introduce Adela Morris, who is a representative of the Institute for Canine Forensics, to tell you about a new technique that we are adopting with our fine scientific methods. Without further ado, Adela.
Bet I don't have to speak up. Our group.
Nice loud.
Yes, ma'am. Our group is very excited to be part of this. We have spent 20 plus years doing human remains detection in a crime scene modern day work. And it was several years back we said, wouldn't it be interesting to use this in a historical way? So we've been very, very busy. Okay, we know it works in modern day, finding graves and evidence. Let's do some research and do some historical stuff. And so we've been doing that for the last 5 years. And to be part of this project, we're just one little tool that helps gather the pieces to understand this story. And this is a very exciting story and tragic also. And to be able to use, this low-tech device, which it only, we have our brains that we can, come up with great ideas of what happened. The dog uses its nose. It doesn't have any theories on, well, if they camped here and how did the geology change, they're using their nose. So anyway, we got to participate. We're very excited about it. When we break down into a mass media, we will be over in this area, and we're happy to do a demo for you, showing you how the dogs work, how we have a couple bones located, totally not related to anything here. And we just want to show you what the dogs do. They're non-destructive. They find the items, they stay with the items. These are not search and rescue dogs. These are dogs trained exclusively for human remains and historical work. So anyway, we're happy that you all came out, and this is an exciting day for everybody. Thank you.
Let's do this one first, and then I'll come right over to you. Excuse me.
Were the dogs able to identify any possible burial sites?
Where's Adelia?
One of the first things we did is we searched the other sites that were thought to be the camp location. You know, we wanted to really understand, is this the site? So we came up in May when it was cooler, and we searched the sites, and the dogs are not interested in any of the other sites. You know, what they call the Donner Tree. There were some ideas over here, and then we started this meadow, and they have no interest in this meadow until we get over there. And what does it mean? Well, we train the dogs on human remains scent, and the whole variety from old bones, ashes, to more modern stuff. And our dogs have continued to alert in this area. Now what the mystery is, over 150 some years, a normal grave, the animals can scatter it, will carry bones, and then the dogs can be finding the scent. The dogs can purely be smelling the scent where a body is decomposed. That's enough scent for them where the body is decomposed. So to us it looks like dirt. To the dog, they have the scent. So all we know is we've helped confirm, yes, the dogs agree this would be the location of the camp. And, you know, we're trying to help pinpoint some ideas, areas here, and of course a lot of it's going to depend on what bone and the DNA, the study of the bone, all what it's found. But the dogs have said this is the area you want to work to.
Lockie Page's great-great-grandfather was George Donner. She often comes here where he and 47 of his party perished.
I believe there probably was cannibalism associated with the Donner Party. I just do not believe it's the most important part of their story.
What ought to be remembered, Lockie says, is the spirit of those who risked everything to come west and start new lives. She hopes some of these newly uncovered bones will be identified. Would you give some DNA, family DNA, if necessary?
In a heartbeat. Absolutely.
So you want to know for sure, too?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
I won't take any.
Okay, guys.
sunglasses off.
Oh, sorry.
That's all. Actually, that's
Brush it up.
Right.
I don't want them to stir up any dirt.
Ladies.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
California history, something we grew up with, and to be part of it and have our dogs just be a little piece of helping uncover the mystery is very exciting.